most dangerous people in the world are not Putin. It's not the people in the Middle East. It's not warlords. It's the teachers' unions. It's the people that are controlling how our children are being educated. Those are the most powerful people in the world. The reason why I started working with Logan Paul was suicide awareness. He had gone through that controversy. I was friends with him already. He hit me up and he knew I was working on a documentary. He's like, hey, I think this could be an opportunity to help bring more awareness to suicide prevention. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we made this video. It ended up getting like 35 million views within like a couple months. I mean, it just went insanely viral. I saw the power of social media and how it can be used for good.
If you could tell the younger version of yourself one thing right now, what would it be?
I would encourage my younger self to anytime we can like expand partnerships or like, get new programs as well, like that's the cool thing about GEM is we're always looking to innovate different programs. So like we're not just doing aid. Aid is we have 3 phases at GEM. It's the first phase is that immediate relief. So the food, the water, the necessities. Like most people after a disaster have literally lost everything. Like they have nothing. They don't even have like passports or documents. Obviously it depends on the disaster.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, they lose everything. And like, yeah, you don't really think about losing everything until you absolutely just lose everything.
How could you?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that right now.
No. Yeah, I mean, imagine being stripped down to like what the clothes you have on your back. Your laptop's gone, all your work files are gone, all your papers are gone. A lot of these, like your family members are gone, depending on the situation, like in Turkey, it's like, that Turkey earthquakes in 2023. Yeah, I mean, just the loss of life was just insane. So when we come in after with that phase 1, it's just trying to stabilize the situation because depending on, the time of, how long the disaster was, how long it's been, like Gaza, for example, every disaster is different, right?
Yeah.
Like different access to different resources. So like Gaza, for example, it's been 2 years and I want to talk about the ceasefire.
Yeah.
It looks like we have a ceasefire, which is incredible.
Beautiful.
But yeah, like Gaza, it's just been, the desperation is so high that we're in phase 1 still. You can't move into phase 2, which is kind of that gap period, which is helping people get back into housing while their long-term housing is getting figured out. So, right.
And the whole place in itself is kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting perspective.
Yeah, and as humanitarians, we're in that middle ground. We're just trying to help, everyone. And that's, especially with conflict zones, that's difficult. Like sometimes you can't, in Ukraine, we can only help the Ukrainian side because just the way that whole war is playing out, wars are not humanitarian, right? It's the humanitarian response has to adjust, has to be flexible and malleable. So,
and they're politically charged a lot of the times. I know you share so much your story on social media, which is beautiful, and I've seen you kind of post some of the pushback you've gotten from certain people, which to me is always fascinating.
Yeah, it is. No, you're 100% right. It's very, all these things are politically charged, no matter what. Like the Gaza thing, like I would love to talk about the ceasefire that it looks like it's real this time. And like when I went to Gaza, I've talked about this before, when I got back and I was just sharing what the people were telling me on the ground, pushback, no matter, like I was just sharing what happened. I wasn't offering my opinion. I wasn't, I didn't have a political agenda. My agenda was like, I'm trying to raise money to give these people water, food, and shelter, like raise money for tents, like basic stuff. And I had people unfollow me, unfriend me I was just sharing what they were saying. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of the landscape right now. It's hard to do anything, but I always tell people, don't let that stop you from going out and doing good things. Don't let that stop you from helping people. Just know, I mean, how do you deal with that? I mean, one thing I really admire about you is you're starting businesses. You no matter what are getting up, figuring out how to make it work. And I think you have that mindset of just like, you're going to make it happen. So how do you deal with like the public perception about everything? And I mean, seems like you just keep moving forward, but
I think that's all we can do, man. I still have those fears, right? Like fear of failure, people judging me in a certain way. But at the end of the day, I always come back to like, how do I feel about myself? That's my work. Do I love myself? Am I proud of myself? Do I feel like what I'm doing is right for me and being a good human and showing up in that way? If that's yes, then we can't care about the external.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people who judge me, or, I've had businesses that have failed and maybe people look at me and they're like, oh, he's a failure. But I can't control that narrative that they think. Do I think I'm a failure? Am I proud of myself?
Yeah. What do you do? I know you've got so many different, practices and different, like, what do you do to maintain that in this world of so much noise, so much, distraction? How do you maintain that confidence and that ability to just push forward?
Yeah. Time by myself for sure, whether it's a walk in the morning with some sunlight, time in nature. Plant medicines have been a huge part of my journey to see myself on a deeper level. I'm actually going to sit with ayahuasca at the end of the month here, so I'm excited about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to go deep.
Yeah. I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, we'll have to have a conversation after that.
For sure.
Do you know, is that like South America or?
No, it's actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll beep that out.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Interruption.
So what's calling you to that?
I've always been called to it. Psychedelics really changed my life. LSD was the first really powerful psychedelic experience I had, and it shifted so many things for me. It really was the moment I started to believe in God, actually. I grew up Jewish in a family who we had the ancestry there, but it wasn't really like a huge priority. We were never really religious. But that experience, I saw God, I felt God, I was connected to it. And for me, it was always tough to believe in something unless I experience it. I was at that stage where it was like, yeah, God could be real, but like I've really never had any evidence to prove that. And that was the experience where I was like, oh.
What would you say? I mean, what made you experience God, if you will, have a direct experience?
I was connected to it. I was connected to everything. I realized, at least from my interpretation, that everything is
Obviously,
God.
Words are
it's hard to describe.
Fumbly.
Yeah, it's hard to describe it with words, but
Yeah.
you were connected. I was connected to source. I felt source coursing through my veins. I was like, oh my God, I am God in a way. I am connected to this infinite universe that we don't understand. And then I saw, once I started to believe in God, positive things in my life changed for the better. So I was like, oh, wow, maybe there really is something to this, having this belief and having this relationship.
Yeah. I just I had my buddy Anton on. We were talking, well, a very small amount about psychedelics, but I've had my own experiences, and I think it's a fascinating world. I mean, you definitely can't deny the evidence of how profoundly beneficial they are in certain applications. And I always caution people. I say I don't think it's for everyone. And I also, I always kind of, to me, it's a medicine. If it's a medicine, you shouldn't need the medicine forever. And I think that there are traps within, just as there are traps in religion, there's traps in psychedelics, right? There's traps in these realms where it should be something that you're able to, you need, when you need it. When you're sick, you take a medicine. When you're not sick, you don't need to take the medicine. So that's kind of my point on it, is I think if you have that healthy connection, like healthy balance, I think everything in this existence is about moderation, right?
Yes.
It's like when you strike that moderation, and I believe that is partially being in tune with God, is to like have balance in your life. And if you become imbalanced, then you start to miss out on that connection, right?
Yeah.
So
look at the universe. It's all balanced, light and dark.
Yeah.
Can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
Exercise, well, you can't deny it's incredible for you, movement, what it does to your physiology, your psychology, but there's a level where you could get to where it's too much movement, right?
Yeah.
You know,
you injure yourself. You overdo it.
You're not prioritizing other important things and buckets in your life. So
yeah,
I agree with you.
Well, that's beautiful, man, to have that direct experience. You know, it's like and words can't ever do it justice, right? But it's beautiful. So how have you seen your life change? I know you talked about like things have become more positive, but like, you know, maybe get into that a little more specific. How have things changed since you've done some of these ceremonies?
Yeah, definitely seeing myself in a different way. I've started working in finance, and I was doing that because I thought that's what I should be doing. And then I realized, wait a second, I'm the author of my own story. I could do whatever I want. Like there is no rule book and no right way of going through this experience. And that was really the first time in my life I actually understood that truth. And I give LSD the credit there. It showed me that. I was like, dude, this is your experience. You could do whatever you want. There are no limits. Like if you want to go be an entrepreneur or go try this, like go do it. You can succeed.
So it helped you see out of maybe some entrenched ways of thinking?
Yeah, like a box I had put myself in.
Why do you think that you were put in that box, or how did you get in that box?
That's a great question. I'm sure programming from society, from family, friends, the people I was around, what was acceptable, what was safe, what was comfortable. Fear was a big part of it, right? Like having stability and having something that looked good on paper and was looked at in a certain light kind of makes you want to stay in that. Mm-hmm. And taking that leap is scary into the unknown.
Yeah, letting go. It's a big theme in my life right now. I'm like letting go of a lot of things and just trusting God has got something better on the other side. Because I always look back, even just like I was having a conversation with my dad yesterday, and you know, my dad's going through some challenges with his business. And I was just like describing. Both of us were just saying we trust God. We trust like what's going to come from this. I was just saying like 2 years ago, let's say 3 years ago, if you were going to tell me like I'm on the front lines of Ukraine, serving in war zones, handing out food, trying to make the world a better place with my gifts, and then you're going to have a baby, and then you know you're going to raise a family, and you're going to be like doing what I'm doing now, I would have laughed. I would have been like, you're crazy. Like, there's no way.
Yep.
And so I feel I resonate with, you know, giving yourself permission to completely pivot, go a different direction, try something new. You have no idea what's on the other side. And you shouldn't. If you know what your life is going to be like exactly like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now, like, I don't know if you're sending it hard.
You're doing it.
You might not be doing it.
I agree so much with that. What's that quote where it's like, we have a plan and God laughs?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, that's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your plan. That's what you think is going to happen.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Mike Tyson said, if you've got a plan until you get punched in the face. I mean, that's a little more aggressive, but it's true.
It's
true. Life hits you. So you got to be able to adapt and be malleable. With those experiences, one thing I like to always kind of keep a balance is, did you have, I guess, any like dark experiences with psychedelics? Did you have any experiences that were scary? What was there, like a shadow side to this that you felt?
Yeah, for sure.
And did that help you? Did that, how did you deal with that shadow experience, I guess?
I think it's funny when people say like, oh, I had a bad trip, right? Like, I don't do psychedelics. I had a really bad experience, a really bad trip. What is bad, right? You were maybe scared. Maybe you saw some things about yourself or about your shadow that were very uncomfortable. Maybe you wanted the experience to stop and you couldn't control it. Those can all be challenging experiences, but to me, they're not inherently bad. They teach you. Like, I've had an ego death before where it was extremely terrifying. I was grasping on for life to stay in my body and stay connected to Drew, but I had to let go at some point. And I feel like what I gained from that was the perspective that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. Like, yes, I'm Drew right now, but I'm not really Drew. What happens when Drew's no longer here? What am I? Am I just gone forever? I don't believe that. So I think it will show you what you need to see. And if it's challenging, there's a reason it's challenging. But also getting through challenging experiences builds confidence too. Every time I have a challenging experience that I get through, I'm like, I can do hard shit. And that feels so good. Doesn't mean it's enjoyable while it's happening.
Right.
You're not like, oh, this is great. I love this.
Yeah, psychedelics is not all love, light, and enjoyment.
No,
by any means.
That's one side of it. You'll definitely get that.
Right.
But it also comes with a lot of the shadow work and seeing some things that maybe you were kind of intentionally suppressing. So for me, that's why I really love them, because I'm sure in this ayahuasca sit, there's going to be things that come up. I've been navigating some challenges in my own life, and I'll probably have to deal with certain things and look at some things, but that's how we get better and evolve. And I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm going to keep fucking up and making mistakes in life, but I am committed to becoming a better version of myself. And I think people really respect that in me and see that. And I feel like you're the same way, you know?
Yeah, I love that, man. So yeah, walk me through a little bit, shifting gears. I mean, you've been in Miami since we met, and gone to New York, went back home. Now you're back here in Miami. You're building businesses as well. Like how is the business life, challenges? Like where are you kind of currently at right now? And why come back to Miami and grow your roots here? I'm curious.
Yeah. I kind of just, again, like life took me here to Miami. It wasn't really intentional. I just landed
Miami
here.
does that, man. I'm telling you.
It just takes you here.
My wife and I said the same thing. We're like, we can't get away from Miami. I don't know why. We want to live in the mountains somewhere, but Miami's like...
Yeah, dude, that's how I feel. Like, I never would have pictured myself being in Miami, but it happened where I came down here. And the community, man, the people, it's special. And I think no place is perfect, right? I don't believe in perfection. I don't think it exists, but it's got a lot of pros and it's got a lot of things that I feel like we're both looking for. So for right now, it feels really good to be here.
Yeah. And you're still creatine?
Yeah, still rocking. There's been some challenges on that end, but we're navigating, still running the credit card processing biz.
Good.
Always trying to grow that.
So you're diversifying and...
Yeah.
Awesome. And you're still in finance, but did you shift away from the traditional finance industry, and now you're seeking a more entrepreneurial route, correct?
Correct.
Because one thing I'd like to talk with you about is like some of these challenges. I mean, in the economy that we're in and the time that we're in, I mean, there's no denying that, especially with inflation, the way the government's spending money, there are challenges. There are always challenges. That should never stop us from going and trying and moving. However, it seems like it's a little bit more difficult to start businesses, and it's like hyper competitive. You definitely got to be willing to adapt rapidly, real time. That is not the same as previous generations. I mean, you could really kind of trickle things along for a while. So I mean, give us some of your feedback, your tips, your learning lessons, challenges that you've hit while starting this business, and maybe share a little bit. I mean, you created no gum, no creatine, correct?
Creatine gummies.
Creatine gummies. Yep. And so you're trying to innovate different spaces. So what are some of the challenges you face? What are some of the learning lessons you've got from starting a business over the last couple of years? Yeah,
CPG is hard, man. It's hard to scale a product. There's a lot of competition, a lot of saturation. Production's hard. It's really competitive in terms of paid media. That whole landscape, I feel like 2-3 years ago was a lot different than it is today, with so many people being on that platform, really just paying for eyeballs and trying to acquire new customers. And there's really no barrier to get into the space, right? Anyone could start up a brand tomorrow. It's not easy, but you can do it. So would you recommend, with everything you've gone through, would you recommend people start a brand, or should they pump the brakes before they do it? Well, I'd say probably not.
Probably don't.
Probably don't do it, man.
What would you? So how are you pivoting from challenges in business right now? What are you trying to get something more stable, kind of have a more stable foundation, find something more purpose driven, or how are you navigating?
I think I'm blessed that I have the processing business behind the scenes, which is more stable and brings me a lot of security in that way. This is something I'm really passionate about, is podcasting. Like, I think building your personal brand is absolutely crucial in today's time. Like, no one can take that away from you. That's your brand, your IP. You become your own marketing media company. So that was one of the things I've sat with recently of like, oh, I want to double down on that. Like no matter where I go in my entrepreneurial journey, that's going to help. Like there's no denying that. And I love doing this kind of stuff. I love having conversations and learning and having these growth opportunities.
How do you see tech changing the personal brand space? How do you see that space? I'm fascinated because, you know, when I first moved to Los Angeles in 2016, I met Jake Paul before he had started. This is when they were all on Vine.
And I got questions about this. I want to hear this whole backdrop. Yeah.
Feel free, ask away. I mean, we can dive in. But I started working with Jake, and I didn't have an agenda. I was just like, this is fun. Same with what you just shared about podcasting. I was like, I'm just passionate about making videos with these guys because it was refreshing. I was coming from more of a corporate background where I had like some corporate consistency. It wasn't super corporate. Like I had a lot of creative freedom and I loved it. And so I was still working that. So I didn't need money, and I enjoyed making videos with Jake. And
I didn't know that. You had a corporate background.
Yeah, it was. So I worked with Bob Proctor. I don't know if you know Bob. He's like in the movie The Secret. And he had a company, Proctor Gallagher Institute, based out of Toronto. And that was my first job right out of college. I was working, whole different backstory, but I was working in some entrepreneurship clubs, like just... I was hungry, man. I was just super hungry in college. And I was like, I'm going to do anything. So I was working 3 jobs in college and joining entrepreneurship clubs, like reading books. This kind of started around my junior year of college because I started to see the writing on the wall. I was like, this isn't forever. This is 4 years. And those first 2 years flew by. Like I need to actually start to lock in.
Yep.
So I just started doing a bunch of different stuff. Some stuff, like I was working with the student government. I was working with like a company called Saudi Aramco, which is like a oil company that was like paying me to make corporate videos for them, like
hustling
$20 an hour.
Yeah,
which was like back then I was like,
fire,
let's go. And now, and I long story short, I got introduced to Bob Proctor at an event that I was filming at, and he was just like, yeah, we're actually looking for somebody to do videos for us. And I was like, all right, I'll do it, you know. And so I offered him, I was like, hey, I'll do one video for you for free. And if you like it, then we can talk about doing something long term. And that's always been kind of my model. And you definitely get screwed over with that model sometimes. However, I do feel like giving before asking.
It's the move.
It's the move.
Yep.
Every time. No matter how big, no matter how far you are in your career, it just give more than you're receiving, and you'll receive more than you're giving.
So believe in karma. It's coming back around.
It's coming back around, the golden rule.
Yep.
So yeah, I started doing work with him, worked with him for like 2 or 3 years. And then I decided to move to Los Angeles. And that's where I met Jake, and I really got into that space. But full circle,
how old were you at the time when that happened? How old was Jake?
Jake was pretty young. I had to have been, that was 2016. I'm 32 now. So what, 9 years ago? So 2023?
Oh, you were young.
I was about 23.
Wow, yeah, young bull.
Yep. And I didn't know anyone in LA really. I had a couple friends from Michigan that were living there. So I was bunking it, staying like 2 people in a room in LA, just figuring things out. And Jake was out there, started making videos with him, and I had really no idea where it was gonna go. I mean, there was no way to understand how big YouTube was gonna be, how big Instagram was gonna be. I mean, that was back when you're like posting pictures of your food and like, look at these cool buildings.
You had like 7 posts.
Yeah. And it just took off. It took off, and I felt like I was just kind of in the right place at the right time. But looking back, I understand that was also because of like the personal growth and personal work that I'd put into myself. Because you don't, I do think there is luck, but I also believe that you can create your own luck.
And what is luck, right? Luck is putting yourself in that position and having that resonance, right? Where you and Jake hit it off and kind of started something together.
Yeah.
Some could look at it as just luck, but you put yourself in that position to
you put yourself in that
luck.
Exactly. Yeah, you put yourself in the frequency of, good opportunities, like just putting I was reading so much and listening to so much like subconscious programming, video content and media and audiobooks and everything, that I had a different mindset than everybody else. And I don't say that to brag. I just say that because I was always trying to look at the good in everything. Like I was always trying to harvest, like Bob Proctor used to teach, harvest the good. He always would say, harvest the good in every situation and leave the rest. And that it's true. I mean, if you can train your mind to see the good in everything, it's not to be naive to what's really happening in the world, but if you're constantly looking, oh, hey, okay, that appears bad, but what did I learn from that? Okay, I learned that. Now let's move on. I feel like most people dwell on a problem and they ruminate in it, and then they get angry, and then they hold resentment towards one another. It's like all these very sticky emotions. But when you transcend that and you can, view the good in it and then just move on, you can actually continue growing, and your frequency is operating at a higher frequency, and you're not like weighed down by all that. So you can attract things that are on that higher frequency.
Yep. Manifesting.
I didn't know any of that in school. Growing up through religion, I didn't know about frequencies.
They don't teach that stuff.
No, nothing.
None of it.
We don't learn any of that.
And if anything, the society that we're in is trying to lower our frequency.
Oh, 100%.
That's a whole rabbit hole to go down, whether it's intentional or not intentional, but you can't deny that these things are lowering frequency.
Yeah, whether it's intentional or not, it's definitely opportunist.
Yes.
Right. It's definitely opportunist. We live in an opportunist society. So, if people are widely ignorant towards, the power of their mind, there's people that come along and take advantage of that. And then there's also people that emerge and they're like, hey, let's actually raise the frequency. Let's try to go out into the world and raise the frequency in more places and expand that. That's what I'm trying to do.
I was going to say, I feel like you are that person, like to a T.
Yeah, I love doing that.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, right?
No.
Because there are so many competing forces, and I've grown up a lot and seen how there are intentional, people that are intentionally kind of manipulating things, but I don't think that wins long term.
No.
I think as long as you really are helping people, and like I love following Christ, and I believe that's what he was all about. Love your neighbor and love God. Like boils it down pretty simply.
Yeah, man.
But the original question for you, I was curious, like, with personal brand and with like the space that's evolving, I agree with you. I think it's a really important time to like build personal brand, have conversations, like reach across the aisle, talk about things that we disagree on, things that we agree on, have like more healing conversations. I think that's really important right now.
Yeah. There's so much divisiveness, so much polarization. I mean, you got people celebrating a man's death on one side that recently happened. I know you've shared a little bit about that, your thoughts, but it's crazy. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And we need to come together. And those events seem to pull us further apart because there is so much anger and hate and divisiveness and strong opinions. For me, it's, if I don't agree with someone, that's okay. Doesn't mean I don't like the person. Doesn't mean I think they're a bad person. I just might not agree with some of their stances. But I have the awareness now to be like, that's okay. People think differently. We're all unique. We're all similar, but we're all very unique. And we all believe in different things, and different things are important to us. We all have our own moral scale.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it shows. I made a post about, for me, I'm trying not to like react or get emotionally charged. To me, it's like, again, harvest the good. What's the good in all this divisiveness? I see it as, it's like a mask off moment, right? Like same with COVID. COVID was a mask off moment. You got to see where people are really at. And it's trying not to judge while also holding your stance and your frequency and who you are.
Yep.
That's a lot of nuance to that, right? When you're trying to stand for something and also be compassionate and understanding towards people in certain situations that hate you or are saying you're this person, you're that person, you're this person, that person. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I'm a human. I don't
We got
succeed
emotions.
at that all the time, right? But yeah, I think the good in this is that it's a mask off moment. You get to see where people are really at, and you get to see, okay, who do I want to surround myself with? Do I want to surround myself with people that are, you know, quite negative and complaining all the time? Because there's so much of that right now. It's like people are willing to hit the streets and say all sorts of things, make lots of noise. But then when it comes time to actually do things, they're exhausted.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a fire hose. You just spewed all your energy out, and then you feel good about yourself, but you did nothing. In many cases, you made it worse, right? And that's what I love about actually, you know, being involved in like humanitarian efforts, is that you have to try to find the middle ground in everything, and just help people. And with no intention. I think that's one of the most important life principles that I've learned, is help people without the intention of getting something back. Because that's important. If you're helping someone in order to get something from them, it doesn't work. If you're giving without the expectation to receive, and you're okay if that person doesn't give you something back, what I've learned is that's a universal principle. God sees it.
Yeah.
God sees everything you're doing. And God's like, okay, I see you. You're helping that person. You are, you know, showing up, and God sees our hearts. So God's always going to reward that, even if it doesn't come back from that one person. I actually think that's probably one of the most important things I've ever learned.
I was going to say, I mean, you've dedicated a lot of yourself to this life, and I want to kind of go back to the journey of how you made those decisions to get here. But have you noticed that impact personally? Like, what are the impacts and things you've seen in your own life from living a life more in service? Are there tangible things? Is it more internal?
For sure. Oh yeah, a lot of tangible things. I mean, there's lessons in real time that I'm learning of what's actually important. I've really redirected my life to being 100% about this. And like financially, that puts, especially with having a family, you know, you have to really assess, like, okay, do I want more money, or do I want to give more impact? And I believe you can have both. However, there's different seasons of life where you have to be, you know, maybe like where I once believed in the law of attraction, like just if you want a private jet and this and that and this and that, you can have it. And if you want to be a humanitarian, you can have it. But I've learned that it's like, you kind of have to be focused on what you want. Do you really want to focus on money, or do you really want to focus on impact? And again, you can have both, but you can't chase both at the same time, if that makes sense. So if you want impact and you also want to be taken care of financially, it's like you really have to focus on that impact and trust that it's going to work out financially. And that means, like in my case right now, I'm learning how I have to release some things. I have to sell certain things where I had I was pursuing a different lifestyle. I have to let go of those things because it's not actually allowing me to be at peace while I'm serving. So that's one thing I've really, you know, going through the journey is like, there's different stages of life where you're pursuing different things. And that's where I'm at. I'm learning how to let go of things so I can be of greater service.
And then do you feel like letting go of certain things and being of greater service, you will call in, say, maybe the money or the other opportunities because you're really committing yourself to that path?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think it's like getting clear on what do I really want. You know, when I
resonate with that.
When I was single, it's like, yeah, I want a really nice truck, and I want to go travel all over the place. And now that I have a kid, now that I have a baby and a wife, it's different. I'm like, I want a house. I just want a house that I can call my own, and it doesn't need to be a mansion. Like, I don't need a $10 million mansion because I just need something that I can feel home at. That's it. Like, I just want something nice, something that I have some land and some property and like a garden and things. I think it's just getting realistic, because, you know, what I've learned is like, it's not that those things aren't good, and it's neither good nor bad, like we've said. It's just, does it match with your lifestyle? And you have to be hyper realistic with yourself and real with yourself to say, is that really what I want? And sometimes the only way to know that is to go pursue it and go get it.
Yeah.
And that's why I think you see so many people that have lots of money, have lots of success, have all the nice cars. You talk to them and they're like, they're not really happy. That's why. Because maybe they're still holding on to that image and they're too scared to let that go. Because when we die, can't take any of that with us.
None of it.
So if you have material things to impress others, God's not going to give a shit about any of that.
Nope.
Like, God's not going to care about, it's like, oh, look at this Ferrari I got. God's like,
cool. Toyota would have done the same thing, brother.
Yeah. That Prius, better gas mileage, buddy. That thing costs you a lot. So that's where I'm at, dude. I'm looking at miles per gallon right now. I'm
that's
like,
good,
efficiency,
man.
Dog. Getting
minimum effective
house.
dose. That's what I live by, man.
Yeah. I love that.
I think that's beautiful, though. It's something I've been also sitting with, like, what do I really want? I've done so many things in my entrepreneurial career and in my life in like a short period of time, because I'm kind of just the person who's like, fuck it, I have delusional confidence, I'll try stuff. If I fall on my face and fail, that's okay. I did have a big fear of failure, something I still deal with, and I feel like that's why God put me down this path, to fail and deal with that fear. I'm a believer that if we have fears, God is going to push you up against those fears to overcome them. But now I'm like, what do I really want? Like, what do I want over the next 10 years? And I think that's one of the most important questions we could ask ourselves. Because if you're building in the wrong space, or you're building for something that's not really aligned with you, what's the point of that? You're going to get to the end of it and be like, I don't feel good. I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel happy.
Well, we've been set up to fail in that sense. Because college is one of the biggest scams that we were ever given. We were ever sold, because you get people in a bunch of debt to learn, and you pressure them into choosing a career path that makes money, and you get 4 years, sometimes 8 years down that path before you then realize you don't like it. You're too deep. You're not, but you are, in a sense, right? Because you've made decisions that have put you down that path, and you've gotten in a ton of debt maybe. Pivoting from that, much more challenging than pivoting from our 18-year-old self that has no debt.
And some people feel like at that point, I am in too deep. I have a family already. I have a mortgage. I've put money, time, energy, resources into this path. Fuck it. I'm just going to stay with it. And that's sad, man.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
And I think there's, I would encourage people that feel that way not to feel trapped and stuck. Like, don't fall into that paradigm, because ultimately it's like your life is going to be determined by your decisions.
Yeah.
So yes, you made decisions that put you where you're at. You can make decisions to go a whole different trajectory, like a whole different direction. And you don't need to like quit your job, leave your job. No, I don't encourage people to do that. I encourage people to build a side hustle, build something, build a passion, find a passion that actually brings joy to your life, and just restructure your life. Make sure your job and your career is actually serving your passion and your mission, not your mission and your passion is getting set behind while you build your business or while you build your career. Just make sure it's restructured, right? You don't have to reinvent like crazy. But I think college did set a lot of us up for that, and you get into all that debt. I think it's criminal what our college system has become, and how many people it's pushed down that path. I mean, millions, tens and tens of millions of people have been pushed down that path. And yeah, I mean, that's why I'm making a documentary about that whole system and trying to expose it, so that future generations don't have to go through that. They don't have to start off in a hole. It's like, we should be encouraging kids to pursue their passion, learn about the power of their mind, gain different skills, gain different, valuable like life skills and beliefs at a young age, instead of filling their mind full of garbage.
Yeah, programming, man.
You learn so much stuff that it's either stupid or you don't want to learn it.
That's
and
the
so you
biggest
don't
thing
learn
too.
it. So you're just trigonometry, parabolas, all of that stuff that we're learning, right? Algebra. I'm not saying those aren't valuable skills, but they're definitely not valuable skills for someone like me that's doing film. They're super valuable for a kid that wants to learn how to go to the moon, but you should only be teaching the kid that wants to go to the moon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually wants to go to the moon, is interested in that.
Yeah. Who really wants it. And now we know modern neuroscience, brain science shows that if you want to learn something, you learn it. And so, forcing kids to be obedient and then asking them, hey, what do you want to do? What's going to make the most money? They point that on the map, and then the next 4 to 8 years, that's their trajectory. That's kind of how a lot of things have gone, and our society's changed. It's not the same.
That's completely different than it was 20, 30 years ago, even 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go back
5
to
years ago.
education for a sec. Talking a little bit about your documentary, Death at Recess. What was the inspiration? Because I share a lot of these similar beliefs. What really inspired you to go down that journey? Because I think you said it took 10 years to make that?
Yeah, still going. I mean, it's year 11. Launching in March.
Wow.
Launching this March.
Oh, so what I saw was not the finished product.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, that was incredible, by the way.
I got to a point where I was struggling to find a distribution partner. And I was just like, okay, maybe I just need to go get it out there. Maybe I just need to go put it out.
Yeah.
And in the process of putting it out there, I got feedback, refined it, and I did find a distribution partner. So it was just kind of this act of like, okay, let's just go.
That's cool.
I don't care if this only gets a couple hundred views, a couple thousand views for the first like several months, and I only do like a couple film festivals here and there. It's like, let's just go. Figure it out along the way. I just don't want to be sitting here doing nothing. But yeah, it's been 11 years since I started it, and I've just chipped away year over year. Any free time I have, if I've got like a month or two of free time each year, I would save up money and invest it in the film.
Wow.
And just put it in there. That's why my savings are the documentary. So
I love it, man.
I'm all in.
All in, baby. I love it. It was such a special documentary, man. I know it's going to crush.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's changed a lot, too, since you've seen it.
I can't wait to see the new one.
It's going to be a lot different.
But yeah, was there like a certain moment where you're like, I want to make a documentary about this? Or was it kind of a gradual process that brought you to?
There was a TED Talk by Sir Ken Robinson that I watched that really kind of shifted the way I viewed everything with education. I started to realize, and my time with Bob Proctor as well. Yeah. I started to realize like, why don't we learn about who we really are? Like we have 12 hours of school. We have 14,000 hours that we'll spend in a K through 12 system. Why would we not learn about the power of our mind? Why would we not learn about the power of mindfulness? Or why would we not pursue our passions and use that as an opportunity to like fall in love with learning? Why do we hate school by the time we leave? That was my question. I mean, that just seemed wrong, right?
And a lot of people share that question. I've thought about that my whole life. I used to talk about it at a young age to my parents. I'm like, the school system is so dumb, so broken.
Yeah. That was my inspiration.
That was the inspiration.
I was always fighting the system. I was always fighting the authority that was trying to tell me what to do, how to do everything. Anytime I would try to like make a video or do this, there was always punishment. Like, oh, we're going to take that away from you if you don't do this. If you don't go down our path, if you don't do it our way, you can't do what you want to do. That was school's energy for me. Yeah. And what I said is, all right, let's go. I fought it. I was, I went toe to toe with it. I got suspended. I almost got expelled. And so it creates that rebellious nature within us, which there's part of that that's good.
Beauty in that for sure.
But I think our school system should probably shoot to create saints, not rebels.
Yes.
Because Lucifer was a rebel, so it's like there's good things about rebellion, and there's also...
Was Jesus a rebel, technically?
He was too.
He was too.
Right? Jesus was a rebel too. Exactly. So you got to... Creating rebels is like where you're rolling the dice, right? And I think we see that in society. We have a lot of kids that are... we have... people doing the Charlie Kirk situation. You have a kid that's just been indoctrinated. He became a rebel to the system. if that's the shooter. I know there's all sorts of conspiracy, and we won't.
See
Maybe
some crazy shit there.
But nonetheless, if he did it, then you see that the crazy levels of indoctrination happening within schools now. Yeah. School is like way different than when you and I were in there.
I
go to schools now, and I see the LGBTQ curriculum that they're pushing, and it's all under the guise of being inclusive, which I think all of us agree on. We all want to be inclusive, but when you're confusing children, you're not innovating the curriculum. You're just confusing them sexually and sexualizing the curriculum. That's why millions of parents right now are pulling their kids out of public schools. Millions of people are canceling Netflix. Millions of people are saying, we're done with Hollywood. We're done with this program. Like, we just want traditional values, but we also want our kids to love learning and love school, and we want to focus on that. Like, I don't want to send my kid somewhere and then he's coming home wearing a dress, confused about his gender.
Yeah, or the teacher has a
Parents
certain
don't want that.
agenda, right? Those teachers have a lot of power too.
Absolutely.
It's really fascinating.
Yeah, and that's one thing I exposed in my documentary is I started to see that there are people behind the scenes that they think parental rights is like laughable. They're like, parents should be able to like be the ones in charge. Like, ha. That's how the like teachers unions, that's how the people that are controlling our education system, that's how they think. It's from this belief of the state should be the father of the child, not the parent. So it's
such a bizarre concept.
At the core of this, like I like to say, the most dangerous people in the world, and I've been to a lot of dangerous places. Yeah. The most dangerous people in the world are not Putin. It's not the people in the Middle East. It's not warlords. It's the teachers unions. It's the people that are controlling how our children are being educated. Those are the most powerful people in the world. 100%. And until we all wake up to that and realize the power and like the just the sacredness of educating our children, like that is the future. Yeah. Everything we program our children with, that's what they become. That's what our future is. So who's ever in control of that? That's why I'm the biggest believer and proponent of parental rights. Parents are the ones that get to make that decision. You get to make those decisions. I think stripping that away from parents is a horrible idea. Unless it's like extreme cases of like abuse or something going on. But that's not what's happening right now in America. The state is trying to get your kids. And thankfully here in Florida, that's not the case. Yeah. This is like the best state for parental rights out of anywhere in the world. So I think that's one reason why we probably get drawn back here is that there's something being fostered here in Florida that's like bigger than us that we don't really maybe understand. But this is, and I don't want to, overplay it, but I do believe that like this is a place that there's personal freedoms that are going to be like an example for other places. And there are other states, doing really good things as well. Yeah. But it is a battle. It is a battle here.
It's an important battle too. So I want to go back to, talking about Hollywood and where you started. Talk a little bit about that journey, and then also like what was the pull, because you could have had fame, been a part of that. A lot of the external comes with that. Was there a singular moment where you're like, this path isn't for me, or was it kind of a gradual thing?
Yeah.
And maybe give a little backdrop of the involvement you had with the Paul brothers and all that.
Yeah, I was just sharing this recently. I mean, I got to a point where, I was motivated even then when I started to get into like the new Hollywood, like social media. I was very interested in the power of social media and how it could be used for good. And one of the reasons why, actually the reason why I started working with Logan Paul was suicide awareness. Wow. So he had gone through that controversy. And this is kind of like a beautiful, like energetic principle, but he had gone through the controversy that he had in Japan with like the if you don't know about it, he basically filmed a dead body in the forest in Japan, and it caused like a massive controversy, and everybody canceled him. It was like peak cancel culture. And so I came in.
I remember this, yeah.
I was friends with him already, but then, he hit me up and he knew I was working on a documentary. He's like, hey, I think this could be an opportunity to help bring more awareness to suicide prevention. And I was like, yeah, like let's do it. And I got a ton of backlash for that. I had friends hitting me up from like back home that were like, F you, you're working with this pig or this scumbag, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff. But I saw it as like, hey, this is a chance where right now today, okay, last year, the CDC says 1 in 5 kids thought about killing themselves.
Jesus.
1 in 5. 20% of young people have thought about killing themselves in the last year. Crazy. So crazy. Suicide is
I've personally been there too. I've had that before.
Yeah, it's a real thing, man. Yeah. It's a real thing, and that's why we always got to check in on each other. Always got to have these conversations. Always got to keep those doors open. But I saw that as like, this is a chance to like make something good out of this bad situation. And so we made this video. It ended up getting like 35 million views within like a couple months. I mean, it just went insanely viral. And we interviewed Kevin Hines, good friend of mine. He was a suicide survivor. He jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge and survived. He literally had like dolphins, or I think it was like dolphins or like manatees. No, not manatees. I don't think they have manatees out there. Something like keeping him like afloat, like broke every bone in his body, but survived it.
And you knew this guy?
And we interviewed him. So it was like we used this negative opportunity to like shine light on him and his cause. And now he's like speaks all over the world, helping people that are dealing with suicide. And that it was powerful, man. And it was this opportunity for him to share his story. And then we also, used it as a chance for people to reach out to him, people to like reach out to the suicide hotline if they're having, suicidal thoughts. And that's where it all began. I was, I started coming on and helping Logan with his vlogs, and that led to the podcast. But that is where it began. I was just like, I saw the power of social media and how it could be used for good. And I see someone like Mr. Beast, he's doing that. You look at what he's doing with Beast Philanthropy, like how he's giving back and how he's like helping the world become a better place through wells, education, I mean, so many different things, like giving kids sight in their eyes. So
speaking about him, I don't know too much about him, but hasn't there been some controversy around him too in terms of like working for him and things like that? Or is that kind of...
I don't know too much.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about the controversy. I mean, there always is,
yeah,
right?
when you get that big, right?
Yeah, when you get that big. And everybody has their own opinions. I've seen it firsthand too. Like, you always got to look at that stuff with a grain of salt, because there are people that are like disgruntled employees that like actually might have just been like a shitty employee that are like, ooh, I could get some attention here. I could get some money. I've seen, I mean, they get paid if they like complain about something and start filing a lawsuit, and they'll just get paid off.
They'll pay them. So just
that happens way more than people know.
Yeah,
way more. Once you get big, it comes with...
It's part of the territory.
Comes with some baggage, man. Yeah, it comes with that. So yeah, to answer your second part of your question, I would say I just kind of realized like that isn't my path to be the like biggest influencer and do like, I didn't ever resonate with it. I resonated with like, how can I, like, my gifts and my skills, I feel like are kind of like my lens or my perspective, and how can I share that with people that are on the same page. And that's why I'm here at GEM, because like I was telling you, it's a group of people that are all coming together for the same purpose. And if you don't have that, then it doesn't have the same energy. You're not able to actually, like, I would have loved to create those mini documentaries like regularly, but it just kind of, it just became something that was like on the back burner, and it was more about the vlogs and the,
they had
all
a
that
different priority.
And that's fine.
Yeah,
that's normal. And I'm actually like praying, and I'm very hopeful that Logan, he calls it the second mountain. Logan, if you're watching this, it's time to climb that second mountain. I really believe it. I think he's at that point where, you get to a certain point, you see these celebrities, like you see like The Rock, you see they just have so much wealth, right? Will Smith is a good example of someone who I think they just, I don't want to judge, but I do see like kind of the path he's going down where he's still trying to make music videos about like women shaking their asses and stuff. And I'm like, man, I think it's time for you to like really use your voice and your platform to give back. And so not everybody makes that decision to climb their second mountain.
Well, they're almost playing this game, and then they're like, they don't want the game to end, whether it's an ego thing or they just want more. It's like, I want to keep going. They have this like drive to keep playing that game at all costs.
Yeah, and I think where Logan's different, and I really pray that like having a family changes, it can change everything.
Yeah.
Certain people have families, but then
same shit.
The family falls apart, then, you know, they go back into that old life. And I think it's an opportunity. Like, I would love to see Logan get really involved with philanthropy. And I've told him, I'm like, I'm ready. Like, whenever you're ready, like,
Let's do
let
it.
me know. We'll help out. So, yeah, I just decided, you know, I want to go do this. I want to go give back full time. And the one thing that really caused that pivot was the Amazon was on fire in 2019. Massive forest fire. And it was all over social media. Everybody was talking about it. And I saw it, and I saw everybody talking about it, but I was like, what are we doing? Because it's like, are we just talking about it? And then it's like, still burning? I'm like, I had like some anxiety about like, freaking Amazon is on fire, dude. Like, we gotta
So crazy. I forgot that even happened, dude. Like,
yeah. Oh, there's
so many things.
So I ended up taking a flight down there with my buddy, and that's where I met Michael, who runs Gem here.
Wow.
And so I did a mission for like a week. I think we were down there for a week. Raised a bunch of money for like to help firefighters get some gear, and like we just kind of like assessed like, hey, what do you guys need? They're like, we need firefighting gear. So we raised a bunch of money, gave them a bunch of gear, and then left. And when I went back to LA, I remember I was like, I want more of that. It's like, I want more of that.
You got a taste of it and you liked it.
Yeah. And but then, you know, to be honest, I kind of fell back into just, you know, being in my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, I want that, but I also have a really good career here. I have like, I'm around all this fame, and, you know, it's like, maybe I should just stay here. Maybe like, and I never really got like sucked into all of that, but I do think like, I didn't want to let it go.
Naturally, man.
I was like, well, how could I let this go? This is crazy, you know?
Yeah, because you're like, wow, if other people had this opportunity, or like, what would it look like if I kept going down this path? What could I get, right?
Yeah.
That's tempting, man. That's why I think it's so beautiful and powerful that you knew what you want at such an early age like that, and were able to decipher that message from God and be like, no, I'm going to go on this path. This is more aligned.
Yeah, and I didn't know fully what I wanted. I knew what I didn't want, or what wasn't for me, and every time I tried it, it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And so I was in the, like, that's why I think in your 20s, like you got to just try a bunch of things, and
that's what I've done.
And, yeah, and fall and recognize when you fall, right? Like tripping over the same branch is a choice.
You got to learn.
You got to learn.
You got to learn.
So that's what that was.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I branched away, and then the Ukraine war started. So then that's when I went full time. That's when I was just like, I'm just going to put everything away. Like I had, you know, other businesses that I was building, which I could have kept going. And some of them I did for a little bit, but then I just realized, I'm like, I don't know, everything in life that I've gone all in on something, even if there's no, like, I have no idea how this is going to financially like make all the sense. Like, I don't know. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to go all in on it. It's always worked out. Wow. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, that's where I'm at right now. Honestly, I'm in that page of like, I'm just going to go all in on this.
Let the rest unfold.
Yeah.
It's in God's hands.
It's in God's hands.
You trust.
I can't control it. And if I try, it's like not going to be as good as God's. Yeah. No chance.
It's so, I feel like a lot of us know this in principle, but it's so hard to actually go all in, because you do have the fears of like, well, what about the financials, or what if this doesn't work out?
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm selling my truck right now.
Wow.
Putting that up for sale. I'm going to get a van.
How much?
No, I don't want to get a van, dude. I don't want to get a van, bro. No. My dad keeps telling me, he's like, you should really check out those vans. And I'm like, Dad, shut up. I'm not getting a van. But some of those new vans are pretty sick, though. I'm not gonna lie, man.
A lot of space, man. Room for activities.
You tell me 33 miles per gallon. Okay, I might check out a van, bro. No, but for real, that's where I'm at right now. I'm just like, how can I get my monthly expenses as low as possible while still having a really quality life and doing what I love? I've just learned, like, I don't actually need that much to be happy. And it's like a lot of times the more I have, the less happy I am, because I'm like, oh, that's $1,000 a month. That's $600 a month. That's $500 a month. That's cell phone bill. That's like $250 a month. It's like all of it adds up, and you're like, oh, like what? So it's harder to focus. But I'm taking that as that's just God's way of telling me, like, I'm living a little bit above my means, and I need to slim it down and just create simplicity. Like, I think simplicity actually allows you to really like focus on what you're doing. And sometimes that material life, it looks good, and some of it's great. Yeah. But you don't need to own a ton of things to be happy. That's what I've learned. Like, I really don't need that much. And what does it mean to even like own something, you know? Like,
does it actually bring you that much enjoyment? I just got a new Tesla.
There are some things that
it does for sure.
There are some things that owning it makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I'm not like against like all ownership. Like I'm not like World Economic Forum Klaus Schwab, like you're going to own nothing and be happy. I'm not about that. But I do believe like you got to find that balance.
Yeah. And man, just going back to, I was thinking about Ukraine, like going to those war zones, man. That's insane. Most people would never do that. It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, our teams are doing it every day, which is nuts. Every day. I mean, and we've had people. Thankfully, no one's been killed. We've had people like have extraordinarily close calls.
Wow.
I've had close calls over there, but yeah, they're doing it every day, man. And it's just like I feel like they're blessed by the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Was there fear the first time you were going into a zone like that? Is there still fear that comes up? How do you navigate that?
Yeah, it was like it was a little bit of a mixed bag, because part of me, like, I always wanted to be in the military to some degree, because my father was in the military, and like, so there was always like this kind of experience of like, I wanted to have that military experience, but I just chose a different life path. So this was like an opportunity where I could actually like see war firsthand and not be like restricted by being in the military. Like I can actually like, I get to see so many different things, like how it really all works and what's going on.
And be of service too.
Yeah. I mean, that's the main reason. So I went to Ukraine for the first time, and I went to a city called Bucha. And I was originally supposed to just be in Ukraine for 10 days. And I hadn't told my mom that I was going to Ukraine. I like told my dad on the call. I was like, Dad, I'm going in. And I was like, we got to butter this one up to Mom. She's not going to be too happy with that one.
Take her out to a real nice dinner. I'll call her at 7:45 right when you're done.
Give her a glass of wine and then tell her. But I went there, and I went into Kiev, and then we went to Bucha. So this is in July, and the Russians had invaded in February, and one of the first places that the place that they were stopped, so like the place where like the battle for Kiev began was a place called Bucha. And what ended up happening is the Ukrainians won. And after they pushed the Russians out, it revealed all of their war crimes. And so I went there, I saw it, I interviewed the people, I like saw it with my own two eyes. And they had, basically what had happened was Putin, he emptied the prisons. And so he let all these prisoners out, and basically was like, if you go fight in the war, you're free. If you fight for like whatever, I think it was like 2 years or 6 months or something, I don't know. So there was all these prisoners that were given tanks and guns and weapons, and so naturally there was a lot of women that were raped. There was mass graves that were uncovered. I mean, they murdered in just Bucha alone, like hundreds. I think there was like over 500 confirmed civilians that they just executed. So it was like the most intense. I was like, that just shifted me. That shifted my conscience. Like, there's no way not to, you know? And so I saw it, and I was like, I was talking to these people. I mean, it's like super heavy emotions, and I'm like, that just shifted something where I was like, oh, this is a battle of like good and evil in the flesh, like actually in the flesh happening. And I was like, I need to help these people. It was like something in my soul that was like, these people need help. And like, I know there's so much politics. So many people think, should we support them? Should we not? Blah, blah. When you have a real visceral experience like that, it's different.
I think that's so beautiful, man. I think this is one of the problems right now. It's like people aren't actually there. They're not seeing people being slaughtered. They're not seeing the effects of that in real time. Like, it almost detaches us from the humanity aspect of it. Like, these are humans.
Yeah, and it's easier to have an opinion about something, you know, when you haven't been there.
Or you're just hearing stuff through a screen.
Yeah. Yeah, and people don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
There was literally people saying, oh, that didn't happen. That's all AI. That's all fake. I'm like, I'm here. It happened. It's like, I see it. Like, I see these like villages that look like a game of Call of Duty, like just rolled through here. And so, yeah, I agree with you. I think there's value in just going and seeing things with your own two eyes, especially now. I feel that's one thing I'm concerned about with AI is people losing the ability to feel because they're just so desensitized. We're already so desensitized, but now it's getting to the point where you're desensitized to truth.
Yeah.
You don't know what is true, what's up, what's down, what's real, what's fake, because everything looks real that isn't real. And so I'm definitely concerned about that. That's an interesting one.
Me too. It's pretty bizarre, and I always think about, I'm like, I guess this was a part of God's plan. Like, this was supposed to happen because it is happening. But it's interesting to think about, what are the ramifications of that? How do we integrate it? What does society look like in the future with it as it progresses?
Yeah, what are your thoughts? I think it's fascinating.
I don't know, man. I mean, I use AI a lot. I do. I've been really fascinated by ChatGPT. Right when it came out, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I was really fascinated by the processing speed of it. And some people say, oh, it's just computing. But to me, I always think, I'm like, I don't know, like, does this thing have a little bit of a consciousness, you know? Like, is it a little more aware than we think it is? And maybe not now, but like, what about 2-3 years from now?
Yeah. Like, is it Ex Machina? Have you seen Ex Machina?
It's a phenomenal movie. Watch Ex Machina if you've never seen that. That shit's crazy.
Pause and come back after you watch Ex Machina.
Yeah, it's a powerful movie.
I can see it. iRobot. That's a good one too.
It's a great one.
I can see it. I was at the Aventura Mall.
Yeah.
And I was like walking. My daughter was like about to take a nap, and I was walking into the Tesla showroom, and they have like one of the Optimus robots, and I was like, I
don't know about this.
It's a lot like iRobot.
Yeah, dude.
Little red light turn on, and that boy is we out. It seems I've had a few conversations with my friends. I mean, it can go either way. It's like whoever controls it.
Yeah.
Right? Because AI is actually being used on the battlefield in Ukraine.
Wow.
It was heavily being used in Gaza to determine targets. We're building like autonomous drone swarms, and like it's just like the thing that happens with humanity. It's like, hey, we discovered the nuclear, like with the ability to like create nuclear energy. Let's build the bomb first, though.
Yeah.
You know,
destruction, and
thankfully we haven't destroyed ourselves.
Yeah.
So like humanity has figured out some way to kind of like make it work.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But
that's a dicey one.
It is. I maybe it was part of the plan if it's happening, right?
It all is. It has to be.
It has to be. I'm a born optimist, so I do think that the light will prevail. I'm not one of those people who's like, AI is going to take over the world and just kill all of us.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that.
I'm like, even if that's true, why would you want to believe that?
Yeah.
That's such a shitty ending to...
Yeah,
did God really program that one?
It's a nihilistic point of view.
There's a big camp that believes that, though.
Oh,
really smart people, yeah.
Well, I mean, COVID showed us that often really smart people are
manipulated to think a certain thing.
Yeah, they're pretty, like, I don't want to call them evil at their core, but they lack God.
Yeah.
And brilliant people lack God. That's actually, like, it's kind of the most dangerous people.
Yeah.
Like, they think that they know more than God.
Ugh.
And it's like, I always go back to, like, okay, you can get to the Big Bang. Even just like a couple months ago, we realized the Big Bang's like, we didn't have it all figured out.
Yep.
Should have known that.
Yeah.
But then you get to that, like, okay, who created that?
Yeah. What was before that?
What was before that?
It's just it's just an infinite loop. It happens and then it comes back and happens. Okay, well, who's behind that?
Like you're just trying to, like, your ego is trying to claim you know it. It's like you don't.
Yep.
It's okay to not know. It's like beautiful to not know. It's actually to, like, know. To me, to know who we are is to not know.
Yeah.
Anybody who's, like, trying to know everything doesn't know themselves.
I'm sketched out by those people, dude.
Yeah, you got to get away from that. But yeah,
I think we are God having a human experience. That's my thought. I think when we cross over, we remember what we really are. I've always thought that.
Yeah, I love that. I have a similar take on it. I think we're created in God's image, and so we are a piece of God. We are not God, but we are a piece of God. And we all make up, like, we're all collectively pieces and, mirror images. We're created in God's image. So there's, I'm not going to ever claim to know what God is. There's no way to know.
No way.
There's no way to process it. It's like a fire hydrant trying to, like, drink from a fire hydrant. It will kill you.
Kill you.
So it's not up to us.
It's not up to us.
We're just here to have that human experience and live, according to God's will, right?
Yeah.
According to God's instructions for us. That's what I believe.
Yeah. Was there a certain moment where you found God? What was that journey like for you? Mine was the psychedelic experience and then developing a relationship through that.
I definitely had some psychedelic experiences that helped, that contributed to it. And, I always grew up with religion. My family went to church every single Sunday, so I was around religion, but it didn't click with me until recently. Where now I'm like, oh, I get it. I get why religion is actually a good thing. I went through that rebellious stage of, like, no, this isn't, it's just they're just telling all these stories that's like 2,000 years old. Come on, like,
bullshit.
They don't know anything with it. Come on.
Yeah.
But then as I started to get into, like, archaeology and history and my experiences in a war zone, a little bit of psychedelics, a little bit of psychedelic experiences. Yeah, I just came to really realize, for me now, I'm, like, fully sober and I don't plan on doing any psychedelics anymore. I'm like, I kind of I'm never going to close a door completely, but I don't feel called to it anymore. I feel called to sobriety and just understanding that this present moment and this gift of life that we have is really all I need. Like, it is the most psychedelic experience. Like, life itself is the craziest psychedelic experience.
It's insane.
You don't need anything to to just be with what this is. So I came way more closer to God through Ukraine, Gaza, all the humanitarian work, for sure. There's nothing that's been more powerful than just going out into the world and being of service.
Yeah.
Because you gotta kind of you get to that point where I've seen, in Gaza there was humanitarian workers that were killed, and I saw
part of the
lots of
GEM organization.
Different. It was World Central Kitchen. But I also saw a lot of humanitarian workers and different people killed in Ukraine, and so you get to that point, you're like, am I willing to die for this?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you that, man.
And you gotta ask. I had to ask myself that question many times, right? And I came to peace with that.
Wow. And
I think in coming to peace with that, that's when I just surrendered to God. I was like, okay, if it's my time, it's my time. I can't control that. I can't stress about that, and I still have to operate that way when I go to places. It's like, if it's my time, it's my time. would prefer it not to be, but
course.
I trust. If it is, it is.
Wow.
And
that level, I just got the chills, man. That level of trust is like really rare. I don't think many humans get to that level.
I mean, to me, it comes from for me, it comes from Christ. It comes from like Christ's ability to like die on the cross in the way he did. The crucifixion has always been just a major source of my inspiration. I would say like more recently, I started to get into like the history, the archaeological evidence and everything to like really affirm my belief in that. But yeah, I believe Jesus overcame death and I can't do that. So I have to put my faith in him. I have to put my faith in God who did overcome it. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. It's like you do come to a sort of peace with that. It doesn't mean you don't have fear.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean that, but like, and you can say like, oh, I don't have fear. I'm like, okay, I'll take you to the war zone. I'll take you to the front lines. That fear is coming out, man.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Right. So,
I mean, inherently the fear is natural. We don't want to leave before it's our time.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. The fear of the unknown.
Yeah. What is on the other side? Leaving I mean, you just had a daughter. You have a wife. You're a father.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's different now for sure. I have responsibility.
You have responsibility.
Yeah, I have responsibility, and I have an amazing wife who says that she trusts me and believes in me and doesn't want to take me away from what I'm doing. So I'm so blessed and so grateful to have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting one navigating. I mean, I'll definitely be going back to Gaza at some point, and I don't know. And I just think the world right now is in such need of unity, like you said earlier, and coming together, community, seeking our commonalities. Like what can we agree on? Like let's just break bread together. Let's help each other out. And that's one thing that I see across the board with disasters. So we all can be the most opinionated people. Communities can be torn apart, like Helene, right, in Asheville. I was speaking to people, and they were saying they're like, we were really divided before this storm came in, and after the storm, we don't care about that stuff anymore. And so I think that humanity, it's like when these things build up, it's almost like a sickness. It's like we have to that energy has to just be like purged and released because like we've forgotten that we are all interconnected, that we are all one people. Yeah.
Humanity, all children of God.
Yeah. Amen. And we've forgotten that widely.
Yeah. And how do we remember that? Like I'm always curious about that. Like what is the process to remembering that?
I think the process it's a good question. It's a really good question. The only thing I can think of is when you actually go help someone who's going through some suffering, like finding meaning in suffering is very important. And just being there for people while they're going through suffering. Because I think, in a lot of, I don't want to generalize, but I see a lot of people that view other people's suffering as like, oh, that's negative. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to focus on that, right? It's like,
I don't want to take that energy on.
I don't want to take that energy on, exactly. And part of that I understand. There's a million things happening all at once. You can't take it all on. Like, it's not possible. But what you can do is you can take some suffering on, right? And I think that's really part of, there's something to suffering that is human.
Yeah.
And if we're avoiding suffering, we're creating suffering. If we're seeking comfort, there's suffering in that.
Yes, there's a lot of suffering in that.
So it's you either face the suffering head on or you let it arrive at your doorstep. And there's a lot of fear and anxiety that builds up when that death, or that suffering rather, comes.
Yeah.
Right? But when you're facing it head on, you're finding meaning in it. You're finding purpose in it. And it allows you to transcend all the divisiveness. So I don't know. God created suffering for some reason. And I don't think it's a reason to say, oh, God can't be real because there's suffering. I think there's more to it than we can comprehend.
It has to be. It's interesting. My grandma always had that perspective because of the Holocaust. That made her not believe in
Viktor
God.
Frankl. Have you ever read Man's Search for Meaning?
Just going to ask you if you've read Man's Search for Meaning.
Yeah, tremendous. I just read it again a few months ago.
It's such a powerful
Actually, while I was in
book.
Ukraine, I finished it. Yeah, because it was like,
it's a good time to read it while you're there.
Tremendously powerful.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said your grandma.
Yeah, she stopped believing in God because of the Holocaust. She couldn't rationalize and believe that a God would have something like that happen. And, you know, Holocaust is just one example, right? There's genocides and war, but I have to believe that there's some reason for it. Otherwise, why would it happen?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I choose to believe.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on the same page. There has to be a meaning. There has to be a purpose. And if we don't understand it or don't know it right now, it doesn't mean we won't at some point, right? I mean, even like that's the whole story of Jesus. It's like God came down onto earth, or, you know, sent his son to come down and to die for, you know, to actually like die a very brutal and painful death. And why would he do that if, you know, it wasn't his design? So I think, and that's where I come back to. I think we're living in a somewhat fallen world. I don't even know if somewhat it's a fallen world. And we're here to restore it. We're here to bring it back to its natural state, to its correct state.
That was a question I had for you. Why are we here? What is the purpose? Maybe that is the purpose.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. I think we're here to learn. I think this is a classroom. And I think our souls come here to experience things, to learn, to grow. And you only grow if there's adversity or difficulty. And so I think God has a higher plan for those who suffer the most. And like I've always heard there was a quote, it's like God gives his toughest battles to his best soldiers. And
that makes me feel good about my own life.
And I don't think that means, you know, like enjoy all the suffering, right? I think it means like finding a purpose and a meaning through it, with it.
Going back to Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl was able to find meaning in all of that, in the Holocaust, in his suffering for years and years.
Yeah. And
having his family being killed. I mean, I can't imagine that. I get the chills just thinking about that.
Yeah.
How do you find meaning in that?
Exactly. I mean, and it makes like what we have in our Western society when everybody's complaining about things, or when on a day-to-day basis, if we're like complaining about the nice things that we have, and, you know, we're just constantly complaining, it's like, it's kind of a sign and a symptom of how disconnected we are. So if we can't appreciate like peace and, you know, the opportunity. Yeah. The opportunity we have right now. Yeah. That's a sign that we're disconnected from that suffering. All of our ancestors suffered.
Yeah.
It's like it's every
commonplace.
At some point, they all suffered.
Yeah.
We all come from that. Yeah.
And I would imagine you going to these war zones, these areas of extreme conflict, coming back gives you that perspective. I've never been in an area like that, but I can only imagine the perspective you get after having an experience like that and seeing something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would encourage everyone. I mean, at some point it'd be really cool for you to go somewhere, wherever you feel called, like find a place, find a people that you just want to help and serve. I would encourage you to do it when the timing's right, when you feel called, because when you come back and like in Ukraine, you know, there's sirens every day. Like I got woken up at night to a drone attack and had drones, like massive drones, like the size of this wall over here, like slamming 2 blocks away, massive explosions. Like, and then you come back and you're, you know, you don't even have to worry about any of that. You don't have to worry about air raid sirens and like taking your kid to a shelter, like a missile completely blowing up your entire apartment building. You don't got to think about any of that. You know, your stresses are way different.
And you naturally take that for granted when it's just your baseline reality.
100%. Yeah. mean, I'm human. I take it for granted.
I was going to say, is there a certain point where you come back and you get readjusted and you're in your flow again that you do start to take those things for granted again?
Yes.
Yeah.
But to me, that's like, again, it comes back to, that's my teacher.
Yeah.
Like, I'm learning, why am I taking this for granted? Okay. And that's where I'm at. I'm just trying to ask those questions and really understand, okay, what practices can I bring into my life that will help me not take this for granted? That will help me like really. And to me, that's why, I mean, when I'm here, I continue to serve through editing videos and through creating content for Gem and for, you know, the people in need, because that's what I can do with my time when I'm home. I can still serve. That's the cool thing about the technology we have. And I think AI can be a part of that, right? If we use it for good, it can be a very powerful tool.
Yeah.
But I think God sees everything, you know, so God sees what we're trying to do. God sees us and wants to help us, always wants to love us. We just have to make that choice every day.
Connect back to source.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's a beautiful classroom and a difficult one. Michael, the founder at Gem here, he always says that like the curriculum at Harvard has to be difficult to produce the best student. And if you want to produce a better student, you got to make the curriculum harder. So, I mean, my faith is all centered around, and I think you kind of see it. It's like a human urge. We all want to create utopia, heaven. Like we all want that. That is what we want. And I think maybe the realization is we should try to create it. Absolutely. I feel like we are called to create heaven on earth. And I believe one day we'll get there. Maybe it's thousands of years from now. Maybe it's tens of thousands of years from now. But we will create it. And it's having that faith and that belief in it. And maybe this is the classroom, and maybe heaven's on a higher dimension, and we have to earn our way into that through faith, through love, through obedience to God, through service. Like I don't know, but I see that everybody is trying to create that. Even people that I really disagree with how they're going about trying to create that, I see it seems like everybody's trying to create that at some level.
Yeah,
maybe not everyone, but quite a bit of people. I would say the majority.
Yeah. And if we just think about, I think in terms of time is really weird. We tend to forget about time in itself. Like if you go back 200 years ago, I feel like there is definitely a big positive shift that is happening in terms of the conscious awakening.
Oh, yeah.
And the conversations we're having now compared to 200 years ago. Absolutely.
Yeah. We romanticize like ancient Egypt all the time. I was looking like their average life expectancy was like 30.
It's crazy.
Or like less than, yeah.
Yeah.
Now nobody had toothbrushes. It's like, dude, everybody had stank breath in the ancient world, man.
Yeah.
No baths.
Yeah.
Like we're living like kings. Better than kings nowadays.
And then
we are heaven is
right here.
Right here. We are creating it.
And then at the same time, hell is also here too. There's a lot of suffering, as you brought up the statistic, 1 in 5 people thinking about, suicide at a young age. Like there is that other side of it too.
Yep.
And I guess that's one of the spiritual battles that we're always fighting.
Yeah, I think a lot of different spiritual philosophies will say like Earth is like the middle point. Earth is like the middle, where like there's infinite dimensions lower and there's infinite dimensions above, and Earth is like the smack dab at the center.
Infinite dimensions is crazy to think about.
And maybe that's, I don't know. I'm not the one who designed it.
No, I've just never heard that. I like that.
Yeah, but this is like the center point. This is kind of like where souls are, the two realms are interacting, and that's where the free will comes in. We have the choice of like which pathway, what do we want to choose? What direction do we want to go?
Which is actually really hard to make that choice.
For sure.
Because especially with today and how the world works, we have so many options, and we are seeing all the options all at once simultaneously.
Yeah. How do you navigate that?
It's tough, man, because being on social media and trying to building the personal brand, not trying. I'm watching other people's stories and their journeys and their paths, and there is a part of me of like, ooh, that could be really cool. I could probably do that. And you're seeing one little sliver of that journey, right? And it's something that they're creating to show the world.
Yeah.
But you romanticize it in your head. You're like, oh, it's probably like this. You don't really know what it's like until you do it.
Yeah.
For me, it's always just coming back to, that's their journey. What do I want? That's all I can ask myself. And maybe that changes in time too. It has changed in time. What I wanted 6 years ago is not what I want right now. And I think being okay with that, there's a lot of beauty in that. That's something I've been working on. Because I'll tend to attach my identity to a thing or a path. And separating myself from that has helped me a lot.
Yeah. And you combine, I mean, we're going through massive global changes. Most people don't realize, like on a day-to-day basis, you might see a little bit, feel a little bit financially here and there. But I mean, from someone like myself who's been, in the Middle East quite a bit, been in Ukraine quite a bit, and you're seeing this like battle taking place between the West and the Eastern world, like the democratic world versus more authoritarian world. You're seeing that battle take place, and we're in that. Like we are in a war. It's just not kinetic in the United States, but we are in a war. So you're also navigating that, and I don't want to ever be in denial of that. I don't want anybody to just feel like they have to be like, oh, it's like everything's perfect, everything's great, everything's perfect. It's like, no, there's challenges.
There's a little delusion to that. And maybe some people do that because it helps them navigate.
Yeah,
but
it's like a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I found when you are real and you assess what's going on, it actually helps you navigate it a little bit better. When you're in denial, it's just, which a lot of people are. A lot of people are in denial. They don't want to kind of come face to face with what's going on. It's overwhelming. I don't blame them. But I found when you actually coming back to like you face the suffering head on, there's empowerment through that.
Yeah. Suffering is not inherently bad. Pain is not inherently bad.
Yeah. Easier said right
Easier
now.
said
if I was in pain right now, I'd be like, it's true though. It's true. You're 100% right.
Yeah. Pain's taught me a lot. I've had pain in the physical body, emotional pain, and it's a great teacher.
It is.
Even though it sucks when you're dealing with it.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sciatica last year for a little while.
I remember that.
I fixed it. It's gone now.
Oh yeah.
But I was like starting to think, I'm like, I'm going to have this forever.
It's a scary thought.
And you're like, dude, this sucks. Like just sitting.
Yeah.
And but it taught me so much. It taught me how to correct my posture. It taught me how to make sure I'm not sitting for too long and like being more active and
more awareness, right? More awareness of your body.
Yeah. So I agree with you. Yeah. Pain is a great teacher.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the quote? It's like pain will,
no pain, no gain.
Yeah, that too. It's like pain will leave you once it's finished teaching.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, because it's a phenomenal teacher, just like relationships.
Yeah.
I actually had some good quotes here that I jotted down.
Please.
I love this one from Mark Twain. Yeah, the two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. That one hits.
Have you figured it out why?
No, I don't think so.
You're moving towards that?
Moving towards it, yeah.
Good. I feel that, man. I feel in ways I've experienced that. In ways I've kind of experienced why I'm alive, but I'm also open to the mystery. I think that God's always got greater mysteries to reveal.
Maybe we're not supposed to know.
Maybe we're not supposed to know.
You ever think about that, Mark?
Yeah, come on, Mark. Do you ever think about that,
You're a
buddy?
good writer, but... There's another good one. What you seek is seeking you.
Yeah. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek.
Yes.
Amen.
Following that intuition.
Yeah.
There's a reason we're being pulled in that direction, even if it doesn't make sense now. Even if we can't see the finish line, which we won't be able to see, there's a reason. Even if you're in the moment and none of it makes sense, there's still a reason you're being pulled there.
It's true. I'm down to wrap it on that.
Let's fucking wrap it, dude. I have one last question for you.
Please.
I ask everyone this question.
Yeah, please.
If you could tell the younger version of yourself one thing right now, what would it be?
If I could tell the younger version of myself what I would tell them. That'd be funny. See my younger self.
You get to pick the age too.
I get to pick the age.
You don't have to share the age.
I would encourage my younger self I'd probably encourage my younger self to just maintain my faith and my morals and values. I would just say you will never be punished for proper morals, proper values. Like seek those values.
That's beautiful, man. We need more people who have really good values and morals.
Yeah, we do.
Well, what a conversation, brother.
Yeah, thanks
Much
for coming
love,
by.
bro.
All right, y'all. Well, subscribe. Go check out Drew.
Yep.
I'll leave all your social medias in the description. And please reach out to him if you got business advice, if you want to learn from him on his businesses. Also, just chat to him. He's a great human. But yeah, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you.
We'll chat soon.
All right. God bless y'all. Peace.